MTX accounting program is, we budget, the way we do the budgeting, we put money in for social security and we break out the Medicare portion. But MTX only takes it out of the social security line, so every year we gotta take it out of the Medicare and put it back in social security to even it out. In the highway, we were over in the hospitalization by 34,000. You know, they went to the doctor more than they had done in the previous years. You know, so we're there, and in the water department, we had to increase the medical line because again, we didn't have anybody on this. We only had Wayne on insurance, and then Anthony went on the insurance, and now we got Anthony and Bradley and what's his name? Blake, BJ. Oh, BJ has moved over there, so he carries insurance. So we had to increase that one. That's about it. Oh, and then the other one in the highway department thing was we increased revenue by $82,633 from CHIPS. When we do the budget every year, we do it in September, but we use what we had for the current year in CHIPS monies for next year's budget, because we don't get a dollar amount from DOT until after the budget's passed, which is in April. And so then they send out a letter, so by May we get a letter of what our allotment will be. So this year it went up $82,633 over last year. So we added that in as revenue, and we also added that back in under contractual improvements. So we did $626,000 of paving this year.
Pat, on the Medicare explanation, there are 21,000 decrease in that was added back in Social Security. On the next page, it's a 13,800 decrease, but only 3,000 is added back in.
Yeah, we didn't need this money,
So where did that other money go to?
it just stays in that line item. You know, the little reserves at the end of the year.
The Medicare line? Okay, same thing with the 3 million. And then the water department, did they not purchase a piece of equipment or something?
Yeah.
We're rolling over?
Right. So I use that to help with the budgeting of the contractual services. Oh, by the way, City of Troy raised their rates again.
I know.
Merry Christmas.
Water rate?
Yeah,
We knew that was going to happen.
so it's now, I think, $4.43 per thousand. They're up to, we're getting billed, which at that, with the.
From what?
Went up 25 cents a day was.
Really?
It's been going up quite a bit.
They went up quite a bit last time.
And, yeah, they claimed that they were gonna do that because they got that now on they replaced the water line coming in from the town Hammond, and they now have 2 30-inch twin lines coming down. So that's starting to hit their bond payments. So that's why they've been slowly increasing their rates to pay for that, because the line that they had in there was 40 years old, 50 years old, and it was spraying leaks all over the place, and half of it is through woods and stuff, so you can't tell where the water main breaks are. You know what I mean? So this way, they got 2 brand new lines coming in, and they'll always have a backup water supply. The current line, that was 30-inch main, so we'll have 2 30-inch mains versus the 1. Okay. So that went up. We sell water, well, we don't sell water, we transport water to Posakill, and that's where this rate for Troy comes in. So the way the contract's written is based on the consumer price index, and that's what it is in October of the year, and then we just subtract out last year to see what the increase is, and then we use that as a percentage to increase the transportation charges. But in the contract we have where every time Troy raises its rate, the transportation charge reverts back to 25% of what the Troy rate is. So actually, this year we're making out okay because the CPI was down a little. It went up 2%, but with the Troy rate going up as high as it did this year, we're actually going to make a little bit more on the transportation charges. Anything else?
When we gotta adjust the rates, we don't fall behind.
Well, they raised the rates as of January 1st. the bills that go out in February are based on usage for this year. So you gotta we gotta increase our rate for the June bill, so you have to now, for June bill. You usually do that January, February. But the cost for the February billing is already set because it's in this year.
Thank you, sir.
Anybody else? No? Call Becky.
I got her on standby. That's the only way we need her, so. All right, what do we do now, Tom? Move into resolutions?
Yes.
Rebecca, let's start with the resolution.
Resolution 60 of 2023, resolution authorizing collection of real property tax and other assessments via the internet.
Offer. I'll second.
The foregoing resolution has been offered by Councilman Sullivan and seconded by Councilman Christian. Roll call vote, Councilman Sipperly,
Aye.
Councilman Christian,
Aye.
Councilman Sullivan,
Aye.
Councilman Balistrary,
Aye.
Supervisor Harrington.
Aye.
This resolution is adopted.
Nice to see that. We've been talking about that for 5, 8 years. And finally I gave up, but it's glad we got it.
We're also putting in a scanner to scan checks, so we don't have to bring checks down to the bank anymore.
I guess it's the new generation, but what was I asking? Lady came in, bought 2 slices of pizza for $8, paid with a credit card.
Oh, yeah.
Our kids don't carry cash.
They go to Stewart's all the time and pay for coffee with them.
Could have been that hard, but yeah.
And you don't even have to swipe them anymore, you just flash them.
Yeah.
All right,
Resolution 61 of 2023, resolution appointing and fixing compensation of town employee.
I'll offer.
I'll second it. This was advertised. People were interviewed.
This is for the assessor's assistant.
Yeah.
The foregoing resolution has been offered by Councilman Christian and seconded by Supervisor Harrington. Roll call vote, Councilman Sipperly,
Aye.
Councilman Christian.
Aye.
Councilman Sullivan,
Aye.
Councilman Balistrary,
Aye.
Supervisor Harrington.
Aye.
This resolution is adopted. Resolution 62 of 2023, resolution amending adopted 2023 town budget.
I'll offer.
Second.
The foregoing resolution has been offered by Councilman Christian and seconded by Councilman Sullivan. Roll call vote, Councilman Sipperly,
Aye.
Councilman Christian.
Aye.
Councilman Sullivan,
Aye.
Councilman Balistrary,
Aye.
Supervisor Harrington.
Aye.
This resolution is adopted. Resolution 63 of 2023, resolution accepting the water and sewer maintenance role for the period of January 1st, 2023 through June 30th, 2023, August billing 2023, water sewer and sewer 6 role.
I'll offer.
I'll second.
The foregoing resolution has been offered by Councilman Christian and seconded by Councilman Balistrary. Roll call vote, Councilman Sipperly,
Aye.
Councilman Christian,
Aye.
Councilman Sullivan,
Aye.
Councilman Balistrary,
Aye.
Supervisor Harrington.
Aye.
This resolution is adopted.
That's it, huh?
Mr. Supervisor, I would request that we go into executive session just to, for a legal opinion.
We need a second on that?
Yeah, it's what we were
Make a
talking
motion.
about before, a motion to go into private session to
Private
ask
session.
legal questions of the town attorney.
Okay, I'll second it. All right.
Go to a vote.
Yeah, hold on. The foregoing,
Motion.
motion was offered by Councilman Balistrary and seconded by Supervisor Harrington. Roll call vote, Councilman Sipperly,
Aye.
Councilman Christian,
Aye.
Councilman Sullivan,
Aye.
Councilman Balistrary,
Aye.
Supervisor Harrington.
Aye.
The town board will be entering into executive session,
Private.
private session at 6:53 PM. I'm going to mute the live stream while the board is in private session. For any of those watching, the town board is in a private session and will resume regular session momentarily. We appreciate your patience. For those of you who have just joined the live stream, the town board is in a private session seeking legal opinion. Regular session will resume momentarily. We appreciate your patience in the meantime.
longest year-round meeting we've ever had.
You're right. You're right.
Thank you.
I haven't had dinner yet. And you-
I had a yogurt and
You're still eating leftovers, what are you talking about?
Oh, yeah, I haven't had them yet, though.
a yogurt and a pudding.
What do we need, a
Oh,
motion
is
for
that-
back in the
that was-
general session?
This was sugar-free.
It was.
Yeah.
And both of them are. It was supposed to take all those stupid pills at supper time, at 6 o'clock. And you still
All right,
have something in your
Rebecca.
stomach.
All right, gentlemen, I'll make a motion that we return to our general session.
I'll make it.
You already seconded it?
Yeah.
All in favor?
Let the record show that no action was taken in the private session, only legal advice was provided to the members on their questions to the county.
We did a vote on warrant tonight?
I believe you were.
Pass them back. I'll make a motion to pay our bills.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anything else?
I don't believe so.
Now, this is a special meeting. Normally, we don't have public access. But I know Jane's here. You want to get up and say a few words? Normally, we don't do this. Tip your microphone down there. I don't want you to sit there for an hour and not be able to say anything.
Just turn it. Yeah. Oh, my.
There you go.
No, you have your name and address.
Angel Roberts, I live in Brunswick, New York. Do you want my address?
You're fine.
Thank you.
Please continue.
Okay. I came to a public hearing that, and I kind of found out that day that there was a thing on salaries. And why I sent that email was because when I gave you guys all those salary things, the public hearing announcement had a 7% difference than what we were doing there, so it looked like everybody was getting 7% raise, and not myself. I was at 36,000, which is the raise you gave me last year. That was up when we tried to say that. I kept thinking that the job was worth more, and I trust you guys as a board to do what's right and fair, and I've never even looked up what people made really, But I know that when I was asked to sign up, to run for this position, I was like, oh, pays more than the supervisor, come on, And Apolito thought that because of my bookkeeping experience, I could be a good fit for it. And I didn't even want the job then, but I love serving the town of Brunswick. I love our residents, I love my job. It is long hours though, and it's a lot of responsibility. And when last year, you did the raise, and then I thought it was gonna balance out this year, and I saw that, I don't understand why. Do you want to, I talked to other receivers, I've talked to the county, I talked to the county 2 years ago when, Bill was there, and he said I should find out what other receivers make that I was underpaid. And I'm just saying, and with Rensselaer County every year, I balance with Penny every night. Rensselaer County every year, they've stated I was the first one to pay. I made the town whole before the end of January from when I collected. I take so many checks a day and process, and even the banks, they pay with checks. Sometimes it's a bigger check and different ones. Sometimes they do individuals because they think they have to. But I'm saying, that report I gave you is how many checks I take through. If somebody took 15 checks and had deposited during the day while doing phone calls and everything else, it's a lot. I do, over 60 checks a day usually, like premiums, during my collection. And I just don't understand. It feels personal that why did we have a meeting about how to make things better? And Phil was teasing me, if you don't like it, resign. Like, what is that? Like, you know?
No, you just said, what's my options? And I said, you're elected official, we set the salaries. And, we had a private session, we went over, you and myself and Becky, and with my concerns about performance in your department. And we had suggestions about moving ahead and see if we could make some adjustments this year, one of which was a credit card. But, over the last year, I've had residents call me and complain, he's not happy with your department. I took a lot of heat, so what I said was, why don't we just back down, take a step back, and see if we can make some adjustments here and move ahead. So that was the idea.
Well, you're saying somebody, you talked to me about one person who complained. And
There's other people in the public session here, so.
okay, well, I'm just telling you, I have emails and cards from people, how I got an email the other day. I already wrote when I see your name because you're always prompt and at times you haven't helped me, I can give you a copy of the email if you want, but it was just a statement. The residents are happy with me. If you hear they're not happy with me, I mean, one time I heard Mark Sipperly say something to me that Jane isn't taking payments and won't take payments, refusing payments. I want to let you know, by law, we're supposed to take payments even during COVID when you guys closed. I was here taking payments sometimes. And I had the appointment on the thing because some people were nervous standing in line with someone. So I gave them an appointment to take payments during COVID. I didn't refuse payments. During COVID, I went out in the parking lot and went to people's cars and took payments. I sat at a picnic table and took payments sometimes. I feel like I went over and beyond during COVID when you guys had me taking the temperatures and going out behind my glass and asking people questions. I just feel like, you had people complaints, but you never spoke to me about complaints except for that one. And that was not even me that they were talking about. It was the assistant that I told them about the credit card. And I just,
One thing I want to say, Jane, because you mentioned that I came to your house, was that 2002?
about 2001.
Oh, I'll go back. And you're right, I just don't want these people to think I was lying when I said that you make more than the town supervisor. From 2002 until 2018, that was true. So that was 16 years that the receiver of taxes made more than the town supervisor. So that was not a lie that I said for 16 years. Then what happened was in 2018, which I couldn't even remember, there was a movement there among some of the board members and Mr. Polito, who was doing the book work, saying the town's changing, there's a lot more going on, which is true. The town supervisor, don't say me, but the position required more and more and more time. So there was a $3,000 adjustment. It wasn't 10, 15,000, 20,000. It was a $3,000 adjustment. From 29,000 up to 32. And the idea was there's so much going on here. When I stepped down, it's almost a full-time position too, and we wanted to build the supervisor salary up a little bit. So we got people that want to step in and lead the town. So in 2018, with that $3,000 raise, what that did was it put me ahead of you, the position. So I was making 32,400, and you were making 30,008. So, but now I'm ahead of you, the position, and then what happens every year, the position takes whatever everybody else takes, 3% or whatever. So now what happened is ahead. So when you say the town supervisor is making more, and maybe you feel the receiver of taxes should get paid more than the town supervisor, I don't know. But one thing you want to remember, Jane, I don't think you're underpaid personally. I'd like to give everybody more money. I get accused of that. So what I'm saying is, you got to remember one thing. What we did was we passed a resolution saying that all elected officials cannot collect health insurance. We're not eligible to collect health insurance. But what we did to help you and the town clerk at that time, we did a resolution so the receiver of taxes and the town clerk, if they want, are eligible to receive health insurance. Now, that's a great thing, because you're on a family plan, and for that 6 month period, the town paid about $30,000. So if you want to compare, saying, you know, if you're saying, gee, that supervisor made a lot more than the receiver of taxes, you know, the supervisor's salary is like $40,000. You put your salary and the benefit, that's like $66,000 for that 6 month period. But here's the important thing. You've got that health insurance, which is great. And some of the other towns ask me what I'm doing. You can get health insurance for life now, but you've been here, is it 10 years, I believe? I think it's 10. If you've been here 10 years, like these highway guys get it too. You've got health insurance the rest of your life. You know, you pay a little premium there, but that's a great benefit. And so I don't want you to think you're coming to work and you're not getting paid anything, and it's terrible. And there's a list of things that I had concern, but what I wanted to do was, and you're right, Mr. Ballesteri lobbied very hard. I remember to give you a raise, so we said everybody's getting 3%, and he lobbied and we raised you up to 7%. So you got your, so that bumped you up last year. So everybody else got 3, you got 7. That's okay. So that moved you, you know. So now this year, everybody's getting 4. So if you know, don't receive the raise, because I personally, I want to make some adjustments with your performance. That's my feeling. So now it kind of evens out. So I don't want you to think you get up in the morning, you're not appreciated. I don't want you to think I'm underpaid, this is terrible. You've got a pretty good salary for the 6 months that you work. Now, and the other thing is, as you mentioned, the assistant in there is making $40,000. Now, I understand that. That's not really your assistant. You know what I'm saying?
No.
That person in there making $40,000 helped you, and especially when if you're not here in the morning and receiving taxes, you haven't got to work yet. He's in there receiving, so people aren't turning away. That's a big thing too, you know? So he's doing that, but he's also, with Mr. Bradley, wants to take that department and computerize it, and he put all kinds of work, he's got all kinds of ideas. And that person's here for the whole year working. So $40,000 is not, to me, a lot of money for these new people starting. So I think we're okay here. I'd like to get through this year to see if everything smooths out. But I don't feel like you're underpaid, because I don't think you are. So, and that's the end of my speech.
When I started in 2002, I did make more than you with the health insurance benefit. That wasn't something that came in 2018 when your $3,000 raise came.
Okay, that's good.
Okay. Your $3,000 raise right now, you're making $4,000 more than me. And I worked, you know, like even the
He
judge.
doesn't have health insurance.
What's that?
He doesn't have health
He
insurance.
doesn't have health insurance. I paid for the family plan too.
In 2002,
You pay for what?
The family plan, I pay out of my pay for the family plan. So
100%?
whatever it costs,
It's the copay.
the code.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah, so
it's
you're paying maybe 15, 20%.
like $5,000 or something.
Yeah. You're paying a very small portion.
it's like 30 grand is what I was told.
30 grand you're paying, so if somebody doesn't have health insurance, like if Carol didn't have it, you offered it, did she get,
I'm sorry, who's that?
Carol Lowe, did she get offered extra money for not having the people
I
get
don't,
extra?
you know, I don't want this to go down a rabbit hole.
No, if somebody refuses another,
Again, that's a whole different subject, and you're off the topic.
no,
That's
but
not even, that's
you're
not even
comparing
a
my
situation.
pay with, because I have health insurance, it's worth this.
It's an extra
Somebody who
benefit.
doesn't have health insurance, does the town help them because they're not paying that 30,000 extra health insurance?
What's it got to do with it?
Well, that's what happens with, different people that I know, they got more,
Really?
yes,
Not
Nice to
here,
negotiate. Not here.
not this, not the town.
not in the town. So, but for you to say, you're not getting a raise this year is what I feel like you're saying. I don't understand it, I don't think it's fair, I don't think it's right. in
How many
2000,
times can you say, fix the things that were brought up, and we'll review it next year?
no, it's now's the time to fix it. How can you go to sleep at night?
We
knowing that
we
you
haven't
don't-
seen the results of suggestions yet,
There-
of
you
your
are-
department.
Nobody talked to me about suggestions. I did
You,
a
they
credit card,
you had a meeting.
and I have credit card payments now that I'm taking
That
back.
was one suggestion, which we are moving on.
Yes.
You just can't continue this forever. It's
No, no,
just-
no, you're not listening. I'm saying it's.
Oh, I'm listening.
Oh, yeah, and tell me why you don't think Jane Charbach should get a raise this year.
I'm not gonna bring personal stuff up. I'll talk to you now.
Personal stuff.
Yeah, I'll talk to you now.
We don't have anything in my personnel file except for that I worked with someone. who-
Personal stuff,
Personal stuff. If you're talking
business
about
stuff, business stuff. I'm not gonna bring up in public.
business stuff,
All right,
All right?
at this point, entertain a motion to adjourn.
Make them-
so this is the end of the discussion about the raise.
All in favor?
I,
Okay. I know you have it over, but I wrote a sentence here that I said, that what do you think this job is worth per hour for the salary?